Thanks for staying with us. Let me take the human interest in Punch. So, Mrs. Oluwatosin Olatunji, wife of the abducted editor of First News, Segun Olatunji, has claimed her husband never mentioned any controversial story. If you recall, the story was that he was arrested or whisked away from his Yanodo Abule Egba Lagos residence by armed men suspected to be soldiers. According to the assistant director of the public relations, they did not respond to these inquiries sent to their phone. Also, according to his editor, specifically his boss at work, said that it's possible that this arrest was related to a story he published, says, titled "Revealed Defense Chief Running an Office Like a Family Business, Public Interest Lawyers," published by many other online platforms. And also there was another story, is exclusive, how contractor, the company stole 100 billion naira, laundered funds to top government officials, which was eventually pulled down. But reacting to the claim, Mr. Olatunji said that he knows nothing of these articles because he usually sends articles to her, so she reads it. But in these ones, she never knew that he wrote these articles, and she's quite really disturbed that her husband was arrested by people who were suspected to be army. He said, my husband's brother told me that his boss said he would be back before the end of Saturday. Till now, they've not seen him, and they're quite worried about his arrest.
The short way which agency is they can do an action for him to come out, compelling them to release him. Okay, so we have, I have the Onjeko. You know, food matter is our matter. So Lagos had flagged off in 27 locations within Lagos State subsidized food prices titled Onjeko. Lagosians thronged the places on Sunday, and then they had issues saying that, you know, one POS per stand was not working for them, that they should have multiple POSs so that it will ease the cumbersome process of payment. I do agree, but I don't expect it to be as easy as, you know, most people would. We had this experience during the Lake Crisis. We should even be commending the state for, you know, first of all, the initiative. And having it in 27 locations is, of course, showing the intention of the governor to reach out to more people. So I think payment process, you should just maintain orderliness. And it will get to you.
Well, it's good feedback to the government also to get multiple POS.
Trust me, during Lake Crisis, I saw this. People do not like to maintain turn by turn order. So you pay, and they have a tag process they're doing. So they tag them. You then go ahead, pay, and pick up. But, you know, waiting and standing a lot.
I don't like waiting.
And the weather is so hot, so if it's outside. Yes, it's outside. People will be uncomfortable.
And that's part of it.
Okay, so we all know what happened last week. It affected everybody. You know, the digital space and with what happened with the Yemen people. So, federal government plans talks with Ghana, orders to protect the undersea cables. This is super important because anybody can have access to anybody. Yes. So the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Bosun Tijani, has announced plans to spearhead a global collaboration aimed at enhancing the protection of undersea cables. This comment came against the backdrop of undersea cable cuts that has affected Ghana, Togo, Senegal, and other countries, West African countries. Recognizing the critical role these cables play in the digital economy, Tijani emphasized the need to review international laws and foster partnerships, especially with Ghana, with regional and global bodies too, to accelerate efforts to safeguard this vital infrastructure. He also commended networks like MTN, Globalcom, you know, their heads for really coming together in order to limit this impact, because it would have really been worse, because people couldn't even have access to their banking networks. Nothing could be done. The banks shut down, basically. And
it's still
affecting people. So he also said that to those experiencing this disruption, that we should please be assured that they are working with all key stakeholders in the industry to resolve the matter in the shortest possible time.
No, I thought the minister was too quiet.
I'm happy about that. Everybody according to their own area.
You think it's quiet? Yes, I've not heard.
I don't think it's that quiet.
No,
but they're working.
Are you on Twitter?
They're working behind the scenes.
Constantly giving us updates.
Yes, they're constantly giving updates. And
we don't see action, it's movement we are seeing.
No, not the action, because you're able to log on night.
Don't mind Nima.
They're working. Tijani is working, yes, he is.
Vanguard, Delta killings, troops lay siege to Okwama, raise more houses. How FG funds petrol subsidy through crude sales proceeds. Lagos residents storm food marts amid complaints. Devolving more powers to states will bring socio-economic development, says Governor Mba. Why it's difficult to market Nigeria globally, says Obong Atta. Insecurity hampering food security. Catholic bishops, farmers raise alarm. Okay, which story?
So in the Vanguard, I took the sports story just because I found it interesting. So at the current African Games hosted by Ghana, Nigeria is coming second behind. There's a way sports analysts report their news. So Team Nigeria has shored up their medal haul to 27 gold, 21 silver, 28 bronze at the ongoing African Games in Ghana to consolidate their grip of the second position in the medals table. Nigeria's continental nemesis, Egypt, have continued their unassailable lead in the medals table with an astonishing 90 gold, 33 silver, and 29 bronze to suit the tag of unofficial winners of the games with the games just 5 days into the competition. And behind us is South Africa, of course, and Ghana is 6th, just to mention.
Okay. Let me take this story by the former governor of Akwa Ibom State, Obong Victor Atta, said the weekend has been difficult marketing Nigeria to the international community for foreign investment to flow in and even to our exports to be accepted because of the persons who is doing the marketing and using the wrong approaches. According to him, was speaking yesterday, I think over the weekend, during the ceremony of the Institute of Certified Sales Professionals. He said specifically, he took a swipe, he expressed sadness first, that most trips embarked upon by state governors ended up being jamborees, while little was achieved from similar trips by the presidency. He also took a swipe at where Nigerians stripped their leaders and the country naked in the build-up to the 2023 general polls. He says one thing distinguishes February 2023 presidential election from others which preceded it was the election in which presidential candidates and their supporters spent more time in the character assassination of their opponents than setting forth their plans for governance. He was really, he just went on and on the fact that nobody will take us seriously internationally because even those who are marketing Nigeria are not marketing them properly. You're not passing the right information and you're not having the right body language for international investment and acceptance of our exports.
Maybe we should then look in and leave the people outside.
Okay, the point. You have a story in Vanguard?
Yes, I have a story in Vanguard.
Right.
So, I know you're the food lady, but then let me help you out here. So there's insecurity hampering food security. Catholic bishops and farmers raise alarm. So at Owerri, the president of the Catholic Bishops Conference of Nigeria, Most Reverend Ugoji, had said yesterday that there's a quest for more food because there's food scarcity right now in Nigeria and hardship, and people have been encouraged, their members, the nation at large have been encouraged to go back to farming, to take farming as because as a farm and produce what you can eat. Yes. You understand? So it makes sense. But then the issues they're having is the fact that there's insecurity because most farmers can't even get to their farms because most of this land's farm locations are most of them are at the outskirts, right? So with the kidnapping going on, most of them when they get to their farms, people might have raised down or stolen some of the products that they want to harvest. So it's a problem. And they're begging and pleading with the federal government and the state government to do something about it to protect the farmers so that we can have and help to curb the food scarcity.
Okay, final paper, the point, just final story of not taken. Insecurity, what Nigeria must do differently, says experts. As Nigerians grown, cement manufacturers record improved profits, hit 576 billion naira in 2023. Shocking confession of suspect who allegedly murdered woman 7 days after employment. Mixed feelings greet move to uplift FCT to full state. And lady allegedly butchers father, dumps corpse in dustbin.
What? Sorry? I didn't even see that. I took the 24-year-old house help. His name is Peter. He was employed, they said 7 days after his employment, he killed his employer. He said that the employer's name was Mrs. Shola Johnson, and she worked with the Lagos State Development Property Corporation in Lupeju. According to him, which I find very hard to believe, he says that on this particular day, she came home from work and asked him why he did not wash the undies that she had soaked in the bathroom. And he didn't say anything to her. And she asked him, why didn't you respond to me? And because he didn't respond, she slapped him. She started slapping him, and then he took a big stick and he hit her nearly 3 times until she died. He stole her phone and he ran away. Thankfully, the police were able to arrest him in Benin Republic, and that was when he made this confession. The reason why I don't believe his story is because they tend to always tell this same story about female employers, about making them to wash their undies. I don't believe that that's the case. I think he was just a criminal. Anyways, the report also says that, you know, she left behind 2 children, one of whom was in school in the Lagos State University. He said he kept calling his mom. He didn't hear anything, so he came home to visit her. And by then, she had been long killed for days, you know, and that's how he met his mom. But she has a partner who has promised to make sure that he'll keep taking care of the children and make sure that they continue to go to school.
So let me read the story. The daughter who allegedly killed her father. So this happened in Udi local government of Enugu State. They've been thrown into shock over the alleged brutal and cruel murder of one of their retirees. According to the story, the retired school headmaster, identified as Ruben Onyiba, was allegedly killed by his daughter, simply identified as Ndidi. According to the report, the reason for the butchering is not yet clear, but said neighbors explained that the killer of the retired civil servant used cutlass to sever his body and dumped his remains inside the dustbin. So he cut off the head and chopped off his hands. Said Onyiba hailed from Abia State, and his wife said that he said that they were looking for him for about 2 days. The landlord Donald was saying that the wife was looking for her husband for about 2 days, and they didn't. After a while, they searched for him, and then they discovered his corpse in the dustbin. His head and hands have been smashed and chopped off. And Ndidi, the daughter, has been the prime suspect. The neighbors are also seeing what they can do. The police has made some arrests, and an investigation has started. But this is quite disheartening. Chopping your father's head and hands.
Like,
what could have suspect?
The person bipolar or something.
No.
Okay, we have to wrap up. Let me see what time we have. Final story. We can't take it.
Okay.
Yeah, Tribune. The story that you want to take in Tribune. Now, bring culprits to justice. Enugu directs the Defense Headquarters and CDS. NJC raises alarm over alleged bid to defraud retired judicial officers. Lagos to push for special status, and residents protest over house marked for demolition in the Ibadan Circular Road. Is there a story anybody wants to jump on? Okay.
Yes, I wanted to jump. I wanted to jump on the demolition of houses. Right? Residents are really upset about this whole thing. We all realized and saw what happened last weekend at Jakonde, for example, in Lagos State. My cleaner stays in Jakonde. The new driver that I'm supposed to, employ stays in Jakonde, and both of them throughout last week couldn't turn up because they were dealing with. They even sent me videos of them burning. They didn't give them enough time, ample time, to bring out most of their properties, and they burnt. They sent me videos of them burning some of their properties, and it's so disheartening. It's worrisome. Like, these people are trying to survive, and they're demolition and demolition. I think that the local government areas and people in charge of all this mapping, they need to sort out these issues before people actually build or such these areas, because you're talking about people's money, people's time. We also need to be more involved about Nigerians' mental health, people's mental health.
Right. Mental health is very important. But it's also very important to conform with building approvals.
Yeah. Yes, but
that's something that...
Unfortunately, it's not a hot topic. We can make it a hot topic another day, but we have to wrap up. Unfortunately,
remember, most of them are rentals.
We'll be right back. You can make it.
Stay tuned.